Okay, hey, how's it going? This is Max Wettstein with MaxWettsteinFitness.com and Skaar Fitness. This is Stein Skaar, Carmen Sanderson, and they have come down from Marin County up in San Francisco. And what we're going to do today is another great gymless workout you can do anywhere with absolutely no equipment except your own body weight. It's a combination of calisthenics and plyometrics, whatever else Stein can think of. Stein?
That's right. One of the biggest excuses I get from people almost every day is that I don't have time to work out or I hate the gym. What's so silly about that to me is that the minute you step outside your door, you are in your gym, and really you can just take a jog from your house, you can go down to a park, go down to the playground, and do what we were all taught back in middle school, and that's just full body calisthenics. Today I'm just going to show you a series or variations of calisthenics that you can do on your own. And I think the key to doing calisthenics is just piecing them together and keeping a high pace while you're doing it and really pushing yourself to be better.
That's right, it's going to be full body functional fitness. So let's get going.
Okay, so we're going to go through a different series of calisthenics. They're going to focus on different muscle groups, each one. The first muscle group we're going to focus on, and it's one of the largest muscle groups, is legs. And I'm going to show you some different variations on leg exercises you can do as part of your calisthenic routine. The most basic one you've probably heard of before, and that's putting your feet at shoulder width and toes out at about 30 degrees and just sitting down into a nice deep squat, right? Trying to bring our hip crease a little bit below our knee crease, pushing through our heels, standing back up to the top. As we're putting together calisthenic routines, you're either going to do it for A, time, or B, you're going to do it for repetitions. So with squats, you could say we're going to do 30 seconds of squats, or we're going to do 10 repetitions of squats. Both would be really effective. Another variation on doing squats is just going to be taking a wider stance, so a little bit outside of shoulder width, and then pointing our toes even slightly more out to the side. And this is going to limit a little bit of our mobility. We can't dip quite as deep into this type of squat. It's called a Sumo Squat. And that's just bringing our butt down to the ground once again, pushing through our heels, and then standing back up again. You'll notice that really I'm limited by my hip mobility and how deep I can get into this squat, and then I'm once again pushing through my heels and back up to the top. Doing squats is getting on the one foot, and we can do one-legged squats. We just try to balance on that one foot. We try to go really as deep as we can, as we feel comfortable, and then we're pushing through our heels and standing back up again. Again, you can put that into 30-second intervals, minute intervals, repetitions, varying anywhere between 10, 30, 50, whatever really turns you on, but it's going to be a really good workout for your lower body. Another really functional full body calisthenic is putting yourself down on the ground and getting back up off the ground and doing that in an explosive, dynamic fashion. One of my favorite ones to do with clients is something called a burpee, where I'm just putting my hands out, kicking my feet out, pushing up and clapping overhead. We can do variations on that, adding more push-ups or adding horizontal jumping jacks. I'll show an example of a burpee with a horizontal jumping jack. It's just out and push up, and back up to the top with a clap. We can do a squat thrust, which would be a good variation for people who maybe aren't as fit. And that's just putting my hands down, kicking my feet up, and just a small jump, or maybe not even a jump at the top, but it's getting people down onto the ground and having them get back up again. Functional movement, something that you need to work on as you get older. Next series of movements I want to show you are more explosive in fashion, and be getting us moving off of the ground. They're going to be activating fast twitch muscle fibers. Again, I'll have people do these for time or do it for repetitions. One of the first ones I'll have them do is something called touch the ground, touch the sky, putting my feet under my hips. All I'm doing is touching the ground. From there, explosively coming up and jumping into the sky. So the only two requirements, once again, are going to be actually touching the ground and actually leaving the ground. That one, if you put together or link together both of them, you're going to find that heart rate is going to jump up real high. Other ones that I have jumping off of the ground, or good ones, are going to be starting narrow, going wide with the feet, touching down with one hand, back to feet together, and then jumping out, putting my other hand down to the ground, and continuing that movement back and forth, trying to be as explosive and quick as possible. I'm going to be bringing my knees to my hands. Once again, explosion upwards off of the ground or vertically grab it. So we're going to go ahead and bring our knees to our hands, so it's up and touch the hands, and it's up and touch the hands. If you link together, say 5 or 10 of those, once again, you're going to find your heart rate going really, really high. So next we're going to go through a series of dynamic movement, moving from point A to point B. And we're going to start with a classic football drill called the Karaoke Drill, and that's where our trail leg is going to lead, and then our trail leg is going to follow behind. So we're going to go ahead and rotate those hips coming across, and same thing coming back the other direction. From there, we can go into lunging. Lunging, we just go ahead and take a nice wide step and dip that back knee to the ground, coming across. And once again, laying out a set distance of where we're going. We go ahead and stop, turn around, put our feet underneath our hips. We're going to do broad jumps or long jumps. That's where we just go ahead, use our hands to propel ourselves forward, absorb that land as we come across. One more time, absorb that landing as we come across. Going to do our high knees, drive those arms, going across, doing butt kicks, knees low, hip, bringing those heels to our butt, and across. Now we can go into do a skipping movement. Skipping movement, we're going to drive one arm, opposite knee, so it's here, and here, 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 and across, finding different ways to work our lower body to bring our heart rate up through dynamic movement. Another classic that we used to do in football was the bear crawl. So getting down on hands and our feet, we're slowly working our way across. And it's not about speed, it's about placing those hands, moving safely. We can put the heels of our hands down, heels of our feet down, keep our hips high, and we're just going to walk our way back across, doing a crab crawl. We can do variations of these going backwards as well. And we can do it moving sideways, coming across.
Just get stuck, man.
And so moving different directions is going to be working those shoulders, working those triceps, getting a good upper body workout. It's getting into that nice push-up position here and shifting our hands together, moving across side to side. Sometimes I'll have them move 3 steps and drop into a push-up and move 3 steps and push-up. Good, and moving our way left to right or right to left. Once again, using that upper body to elicit that high heart rate and using that full body movement. Aerobic and anaerobic, yeah.
Full body functional fitness. Nice.
Okay, so today I was able to show you guys, with the help of my friends Max Wettstein and Carmen Sanderson, how to go through and put together some calisthenic routines. What I would recommend to people is, say, take one of the leg movements, one of the pushing movements, one of the movements up and down off of the ground, one of the explosive plyometric movements, one of the abdominal movements, one of the plank movements, and then put together some of those dynamic movements that we had going from side to side. And if you can, say, link together 10 different calisthenics and go ahead and repeat them maybe once or twice, treating the whole calisthenic routine as a circuit, you go through 2 or 3 times, you're going to get a great full body workout. And you don't need anything but the park. I mean, we're here at a middle school in San Diego, California.
And I noticed that it sort of seems like anything goes, right? There's no right or wrong way, just get moving and muscle confusion. And
it's all about getting moving. And you know, oftentimes I'll have people, when I'm, say, doing a boot camp class or something like that, say, well, this movement doesn't work for me and it's hurting this. Well, you know what, I tell them, just do something that, as long as you're moving, you're going to get your heart rate up, you're going to be doing something for yourself physically.
Just move across.
So only for the most advanced are you going to go through that calisthenic.
Yeah. Good, good.